Well, it's been a tough week and a half or so for the Trump family after that tape from 2005 surfaced and multiple women came forward to accuse the GOP nominee of sexual misconduct. Trump says those allegations are all lies. We haven't heard much from his wife, however, Melania, on the subject until now. Fox and Friends co-host Ainsley Earhardt just got a one-on-one with her, and it airs tomorrow. But we've got a preview. Here's Mrs. Trump on the conversation she had with her husband about that hot mic incident with Billy Bush.
Those words, they were offensive to me, and they were inappropriate. And he apologized to me, and I accept his apology. And we are moving on.
From a woman's perspective, what were your thoughts when you heard those tapes?
This is not the man that I know.
And here is one more clip from their sit-down.
Is it fair for the media to bring up Bill Clinton's past, or for Donald Trump to bring up Bill Clinton's past?
Well, if they bring my past, why not?
So they're asking for it.
They're asking for it. They started. They started from the beginning of the campaign, putting my picture from modeling days, as you want that to be your first lady. That was my modeling days, and I'm proud what I did. I worked very hard.
And Ainsley Earhardt is with us now. There she is. Welcome to the Five,
Thank
Ainsley.
you.
Congratulations on the interview.
Thank
and
you.
Tell us what was like your experience with her. It's obviously a tough subject matter.
It really is. And, you know, they had a tough week and a half as a family. And so I sat down with her, woman to woman, and just said, what was this like? Because you've been in my thoughts, just like all of us. She's been in our thoughts for the last, 2 weeks. And she said they have dealt with it as a family. They have moved on. She's really disappointed in the mainstream media. She said there are countless lies that have been told about her, and she defended some of those lies to me. Talked about what actions she's taking, such as lawsuits, and she got specific with some of those. The biggest lie, she talked about the nude photos that were in the New York Post and some of the comments that were made, and she'll talk about that tonight or tomorrow morning. You'll see that on the morning show. She talked about her platform. If she does become the First Lady, she wants to talk about social media issues, because she said people have gone after her and said false things about her and said some nasty things about her, and she said she knows firsthand how hurtful that can be. She hasn't been on social media on purpose for a very long time, and she wants to be an advocate for young women, young girls in particular, and young individuals just when it comes to social media. I thought that was a great platform issue. She talked about why Hillary Clinton was not fit to be president, why her husband was the better choice, and how they made a decision as a couple to decide to jump in the race despite things that have happened in the past. She talked about what it's like to be a mother to her son Barron, who's 10.5 years old and goes to school here, very active in sports. And if we're going to see her and Ivanka, because I'm hearing a lot of requests, as y'all are too, probably, that we want to see more Ivanka and more of Melania on the campaign trail. So she addressed that issue as well.
Well, fantastic. We've all got questions for you. Dana, what's your question?
I have two. One, it's interesting for me, if I just comment on the social media front.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely worthwhile and necessary. But I wonder if she's aware of how social media is not, it's her, it's everywhere, and it's very personal, and it's been awful, and it's pretty much basically to me become InfoWars on Twitter and Facebook. It's almost completely useless, which is unfortunate because it's actually a very good tool. So I would definitely support that, because I can't imagine what younger people go through when they think that's their whole world on their phone. I'm curious if you asked her about the People magazine interview, or not the interview, but the first-person account from the reporter who talked about some very personal things that were happening to her. She said she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump while Melania was in the next room and 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, she did have messages for those women, for all of them that have come out. And as far as social media is concerned, she said people write things and they know that they'll never meet her. And she said she doesn't respond, she doesn't write back.
Okay, Bowling.
How is she handling, look at the mainstream media, most of the networks are constantly talking about this issue. It's like they won't even talk about any of the policy issues anymore. They have a hard time bringing up the WikiLeaks stuff. Does she have to, do you ask her how does it feel personally to constantly be subject of, the headline news across every single hour, across every broadcast
she
network?
did say, I asked her about what advice she has for her husband with the debate, the last debate coming up. She said, I just want these candidates to focus on policy and how they're going to change this country and what's the betterment for the country, and not their past, what's happened 11 years ago, 10 years ago with Bill Clinton's life or with her life and her husband's life. But she said, they went there, and so if they're going to go there, we're going to defend ourselves as a family.
All right, Greg, question.
Yeah, I don't have much of a question. I just feel generally bad for her. I don't think this is what she bargained for when she married a billionaire. It was going to be trips and fun, and instead, you know, if I keep thinking if I were a spouse living in Russia with my wife, and my wife was running for office in Russia, I would be in a bunker the entire time. I would just be in hiding.
You might actually be in a bunker.
I would
put you in one.
Exactly. So I mean, I can't imagine when you get a sense from her that she's she's constantly guarded.
To be honest with you, that's exactly how I felt going into their apartment. And I felt sorry for her, but I will tell you when I walked away from that apartment, no matter if you're voting for him or not, I think after you see the interview, you're going to see she is a very strong woman. And I said to her, you know, people are wondering where you are on the campaign trail. And she said, Greg, no one is going to force me to do anything I don't want to do. I am a mother, first and foremost. I need to stay home, and I need to take care of our son. And I told Donald that from the very beginning. And she said, no one will tell me what to say. No one will tell me where to be. That I make up my own mind, my own plans, and I set my own calendar.
So it wasn't the case that the Trump campaign put out those nude pictures that were in the New York Post?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because we all walked away, our staff, saying, wow, that was a pretty impressive answer. She talked about the nude photos. She said, I am European. She said, this is art. I am extremely proud of my body. No matter if you are bigger than what society makes you believe you should look like, no matter if you are super skinny, she said everyone should embrace their bodies. And because I asked her about body image concerns for young girls, and her answer was pretty impressive.
Very quickly, did she have anything to say about Michelle Obama, because she was charged with plagiarizing a speech at the convention?
I didn't ask her about that one. I should have.
Water under the bridge.
That's going to be the follow-up. But it's interesting. It seemed that she sort of suggested in that interview that the Clintons are the ones behind the nude photos of her. So to answer Juan's question.
She said that there are lawsuits that are in order, and she couldn't talk specifically about those. So that might come out later.
Well, fantastic. I think
good job.
You're going to get the round 2 interview.
Thank you.
So you can catch that on Fox and Friends. Thank you so much, Ainsley. The full interview with Melania tomorrow at 6 a.m.